Hello there all, my name is Kate and we are in Prague. Prague, the city that charmed with its glory emperors of Holy Roman and Austro-Hungarian empires and later members of the Communist Party. The city that was admired by Mozart, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky and Kafka, to name just a few who lived and worked here. And in this video I will show you the top 10 sites worth visiting in Prague, why Charles IV is the only name you need to remember from this video, the things that you should and absolutely should not do here in Prague, and the fact that Prague is a city of contrasts, where I had both best and the worst cup of coffee ever, and met some nicest and the meanest people as well. So after a short intro, we're going to start our journey. And now to the top 10 sites worth visiting here in Prague. Number 1, the Charles Bridge. Charles Bridge is the oldest bridge still standing over the Vltava River in Prague and the second oldest bridge in Czech Republic. Charles IV, a name that you've heard a lot and will hear a lot in this video, had built it in 1357 after the previous bridge was destroyed by floods. The bridge formerly was known as Stone Bridge or Prague Bridge and has only been called Charles Bridge since 1870, as many other places in Prague would be named after this particular Charles. What's interesting, until 1841 it was the only bridge over Vltava River in Prague. Charles Bridge is famous for its many Baroque statues that depict saints and famous figures from Czech history. The sculptures were installed here between 18th and 20th centuries, and there are exactly 30 pieces here. Charles Bridge is absolutely stunning. It's one of the most epic bridges in Europe, or in the world even, I would say, so certainly worth a visit. The only thing I would highly recommend, get up really early if you're spending night in Prague, and try to visit bridge around, 6:30 in the morning at the sunrise. Stunning view. I haven't done it, didn't have the opportunity to do so, but any time other than that it would be extremely crowded, as you can see here in the video, so you wouldn't have that amazing feel. And site number 2, the most beautiful square in Prague, Old Town Square, in Czech known as Staromestské náměstí. The central square of the historic part of Prague, the most significant square here, was founded in 12th century and has been a witness to many decisive events in Czech history. Here you will also find other top sites, including Old Town Hall and Church of Our Lady before Tune. We'll talk about them shortly. And most importantly, square is dominated by the monument to Jan Hus. Jan Hus was a Czech church reformer who was executed in 1415. In his primary teachings, Hus called for higher level of morality among the priesthood. Back then, priesthood was a fairly misbehaving bunch, and their misconduct included financial abuses, sexual immorality, and drunkenness were among the most common, and Hus called for preaching and Bible to be read in the common languages and for all Christians to receive full communion. Site number 3, on the same Old Town Square, you would find Old Town Hall. It was established here in 1338 as a seat of the Old Town administration. The old part of the complex consists of southern wing, the beautiful Gothic tower with bay chapel and unique astronomical clock. All of that you could see right now. Every hour between 9 a.m. and 11 p.m. the 12 apostles appear and astronomical clocks start to move. So that's sort of a mini theatrical performance there. Very, very beautiful. Would highly recommend checking it out. Other than that, clock shows you the relative position of Sun, Moon, Earth, and zodiac constellations. It also obviously shows you time, provides the date, and most importantly, that mini theatrical performance of apostles appearing one after the other. Site number 4, Church of Our Lady before Tune. One of the most impressive Gothic religious buildings here in Prague. It took over 150 years to build. That's something unthinkable today. 150 years. I mean, who builds anything for 150 years? It started in the mid-14th century and ended in the early 16th century. In the end of 17th century, the interior was redone in the Baroque style. The cathedral has extensive gallery of Gothic, Renaissance, and early Baroque works. Most importantly, here you would find the tomb of famous astronomer Brahe. The organ dating back to 1673, the oldest organ in Prague. Number 5 on our list, Charles Square is the largest square in Czech Republic with a total area of 80,000 square meters. It is located in Prague's New Town district. Until the end of 19th century was known as a cattle market. To this day, to some extent, still a marketplace. There's stalls standing here sometimes. Mostly here were sold salted fish, coal, and grain. Much later, it became predominantly cattle market. The square was founded by already famous to you, Charles IV in 1348, because Prague was in the area of trading route. Number 6 on our list, Prague Castle. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, this castle is the largest coherent castle complex in the world, with the area of almost 70,000 square meters. Prague Castle has been an important symbol of Czech state for more than 1,000 years and was founded here in 9th century, became the seat of Czech rulers and later presidents. The castle is one of the largest in the world, as we said, made up of historical palaces, offices, churches, gardens, fortification buildings, and more. To this day, political leaders of the country are using this castle. In fact, when I was there were some cars leaving with the orchestra and the like, so it's a very actively used place. Number 7 is the monument, a very interesting monument, I would say, to Franz Kafka. You probably have heard of Franz Kafka and his work, Metamorphosis, the most famous. Kafka is probably the most famous writer from Czech Republic. This sculpture depicting the head of Franz Kafka is the latest work of Czech artist David Černý. Installed in 2014, the enormous sculpture that comprises of 42 independently driven layers of stainless steel, weighs over 45 tons, and piece brilliantly reveals the Kafka's tortured personality. Number 8, the Old Town Bridge Tower. Certainly a noteworthy building. It's one of the most beautiful Gothic buildings in the world. The tower was commissioned to be built by, once again, Emperor Charles IV, and monument you see, this is the guy, this is the one, and the monument to him is actually right next to the Old Town Bridge Tower. 3 different architects were working on this spectacular tower. It started with Master Orta, after his death Mikhail Savorsky, and then after him Peter Parler. The gate connecting Old Town of Prague was conceived to be a symbolic triumphant arc through which Czech kings passed for the coronation journey through the city to St. Vitus Cathedral in the Prague capital. Number 9, I would highly recommend walking through Mali Strana. That would be if you cross the Charles Bridge from the Old Town to the other side where the Prague Castle is, and if you walk around the area, you would see some of the most significant small streets of Prague. Originally, this area was founded by King Otakar II of Bohemia in 1257. It was considered the royal town, the town that was founded by the king, and got many privileges. Sadly enough, as soon as it was created, the original residents were expelled, and mostly German craftsmen and merchants were invited by the king. Even though the city was royal, king did not master over the city as a whole. There were other administrative bodies that were doing that. But the point is that the area is very, very pretty. And many stunning streets that's certainly worth walking through. Very, very narrow, some of the very narrow cobble streets, and amazing view over the city that will open up from here. Number 10, Municipal House, a civil building that houses Smetana Hall. From what I know, Smetana means a sour cream. For whatever reason, it's called a sour cream hall. unless it means something different in Czech, I'm not sure. A celebrating concert venue is here as well, and the building is absolutely stunning. So for concert or for marveling the building itself, worth the visit. That would be all that I wanted to share with you about Prague today. Hope the video was informative, interesting, and visually impressive, or at least not disappointing. If you did like the video, don't forget to subscribe. Please put the like, that would certainly motivate me to create more of such content. And yeah, let me know if you like Prague, if you've been to Prague, what did you like about it? If you're planning to go, what would you like to see?